Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. This is John from Cloud Tech Insights. Today's topic is Amazon Bedrock and its interaction with the open source library called Langchain. We'll be deep diving into how to invoke a model using Langchain. At the same time, we'll also get into one of the features of Langchain, which is called chain of thoughts. What it simply means is you are breaking down a complex prompt into 3 to 4 steps and getting a better results out of the LLM model. And at a high level, we will be showing how Langchain interacts with Bedrock model, how you can integrate with Bedrock, and then how to produce results. And we will create more videos explaining other features of Langchain. So before we get into the demo, I want to say please like and subscribe the channel. This will really encourage me to create more videos. Some of the videos involve some cost associated, so I just want to make sure that you like and subscribe so that a lot of people can benefit out of the video. And before we start, like I mentioned, some of these on-demand interaction with the Bedrock model. So please understand the cost associated with playing with the Bedrock model. Apart from that, we can get started with the demo. So in this demo, I'm using Cloud9, like I used in the previous one. Ensure that all the dependent libraries are installed, especially Porto3, Langchain. You can simply pip install Langchain. And any code that I show in this demo will be in my GitHub. So you can visit my GitHub to get all the code that I use in this demo. So let's get started. So you typically start with the um, installation of the Langchain. So all you have to do is pip install Langchain. Since I've already installed it, it'll say it's already satisfied. But please go ahead and install in your local IDE or IDE of your choice. The current Cloud9 is running on Ubuntu so that it's compatible with most of the libraries. Keep that in mind. Let's get started. So the Langchain library is installed, and then um, we can import some of the libraries into the IDE. So this is how we import the Langchain library. And to understand this, there is a lot of contribution from the AWS side where they contributed to the Bedrock, how to interact with the Bedrock. So there are a couple of libraries around Bedrock now, and then it enables you to interact with the models from Bedrock just by specifying the client name or the model name. In that way, it connects with the model, and then you can start prompting and getting the results. So this is just to import the libraries, and then comes the creating the LLM client. So this is where I mentioned. So if you simply invoke the Bedrock class and give the ID. So here I'm using Anthropic Claude V2. In this way, the LLM object LLM will be created based on the models. So all you have to do is invoke the LLM, and you will start getting the response from the LLM model, which is hosted on AWS. And then I would say we can have the prompt as well as the response, how to parse the response. So this is how we create a prompt here, the same prompt that I used in my previous video. What is the largest continent? And then response is captured using the LLM dot call. You can call a specific method within the LLM object and pass the prompt within it, and then you get the response back. So this is a very straightforward, fundamental, like a hello world version of how Langchain can interact with the Bedrock models. So let's save this and hit run. Let's see. There you go. You get the response back without a problem. So ensure that you understand how this works. Each and every prompt works. There are many more methods within LLM or the Bedrock class. Explore that in the Langchain website. So this is a good option. And now I just want to get into some of the good features that Langchain offers. So let's say if you think the response is not accurate or not up to the mark that you're looking for, typically what we do is we modify the prompt and give like a good context to it. In that way, it gives you a better response. And also we are telling the model what to do in case of such situation. How do you want to answer this question? How do you want to do the analysis? So in this example, I'm saying like, hey, to find the largest continent, consider the size of each continent. So now I'm telling the prompt how to consider and what to consider. So these continents within that, and then compare the land areas to determine which is largest. And then you ask what is the largest continent. So you're giving a lot of context to it in a world where we did not have LangChain, we can give like context in this fashion and then get the better response from the LLM model, which is Anthropic Claude V2. So when I hit run, so this is now churning, giving the context. It's understanding how things work. Now, if you look at the response, it has a better response. It has provided you with certain information and the final answers on how Asia is the largest and then what's the square kilometers. So you're giving more information and context to get a better answer. This is called prompt engineering. Basically, you can play with it and um, you can get better answers with the good prompts. So this is one way that you can interact with LangChain, but there are other ways where if you want to have a complex problem and you want to break it down to simpler problems, that's what we call the chain of thought. So LangChain helps you divide this big problem into more subset, or you can have a sequential thought process to dissect the problem and understand what is the best solution. So that's where we are going next. We'll be exploring how LangChain can be used. The chain of thought library can be used to dig deep dive, analyze a problem, find a solution, find what is the best solution. So we're going to analyze a problem through a four-step methodology. So let's move on to that example. So let's get back to the chain of thoughts demo. So like usual invocation, you can always call the Bedrock class and provide the model ID. So again, here I'm using the same Anthropic Claude V2, and we're trying to brainstorm a solution on sustainable energy in this example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the idea here, so which is the step-by-step and sequential thinking, where the question here or the challenge here is we are facing a challenge with sustainable energy. I need to brainstorm three innovative energy solutions, consider factors like environment impact, scalability, and cost effectiveness. So this is the prompt that I'm starting with. And then I am creating the prompt with the library or the class called prompt template within the LangChain prompts, which is from here, right here. Look at this. This is the prompt template. So this template can create prompts or play with the prompts, understand the prompts much better. So what it does, it's saying that it's a challenge here. At the same time, there are some considerations also part of the prompt. So it's giving the idea on what the prompt is having, what kind of content it has, and how you can break down the content. And then you pass the prompt in here, and then becomes the prompt idea prompt object. And after that is created, now you call the chain of thought library, which is called the LLM chain. And then you pass the LLM here, the model, which is the Bedrock model, which we created, initialized it right here. We're passing the Bedrock model and the prompt, which is formed right here. And the output will be part of the idea section. So that's the key that where the output will be generated so that it knows where to parse the information from. And then after the first step is complete, once the model is invoked, it will provide some solution. And now the second step is the evaluation step, where we are evaluating the three proposed energy solution and their friendliness and feasibilities, technology requirements, long-term effects, and give the success probability. So now you are like, after the first response, now you're deep diving into the first response and say, hey, I want to evaluate now some of these ideas. So again, you create a prompt and now you're passing the ideas into it. This is the evaluate prompt, and you can see some of the variables right here, ideas, and the ideas will be passed from the previous prompt here. And then you create a model and create the output key, which is evaluation. So understand that the output key is the ideas here, and that's the variable in the second prompt. So now you're adding more context to it. You're giving like, hey, this is the result. Now I want to evaluate the result. So that's where the chain of thought comes into picture. So once they evaluate the idea, then moving on to the strategy development process here. So where we can detail the steps, the strategies to implement some of the energy solutions, including necessary resources, potential partners, way to overcome challenges, etc. So you see that output key from here becomes the input here, and that's how the output key works. So you're passing the response from the second one to the third prompt right here. And then again, we are creating the strategy prompt. You can name however whatever you want here. And we are saying we are passing the evaluation here. And then we are passing the prompt and then invoking the model, again, capturing it within the strategy output key. And then comes the fourth step, which we can say, hey, rank the energy solution based on the analysis. So once everything is done, we want to make sure what is the best solution, what is the best way to rank, and based on feasibility and sustainability. So that's where the third step four comes into picture, where it uses LLM and then say, hey, provide me the final recommendation. So if you have just attempted in one prompt, they would have just given you three solutions, and you have to like keep on prompting to get the best answer. So that is what we are trying to mimic using LangChain here. So it's called a chain of thought. So similar how you prompt chat to get the right answer, you keep on prompting to deep dive into some of those responses. So that's how you can do using LangChain, and especially on the Bedrock models. And once the all the prompts and everything is created, it creates a sequential chain. So this is how you can sequence the idea generation. So first of all, you go with the idea chain, which is right here, which is the very first LLM invocation. And then comes the evaluation chain, then comes the strategy, and then comes the recommendation. You can play with the sequence here, but this is the sequence where we want to, this is how we want to solve a problem, understand what's the best. And then finally it'll output to a final recommendation field so that it can easily extract it and then review the results. So in the final statement where we are saying challenge is sustainable energy solution contains these consideration, and we are providing these inputs, and then let's see what the output is. So I'm just hitting run. It takes few, it is going through the chain, it's hitting the model back and forth, getting the response, forming more context to it, and then hitting it back. So it's going through step one, which is the idea part. Second, step two, which is the evaluation chain. Third is strategy chain, and then comes the final recommendation on what is the best route to go. So it takes a few minutes just hitting the models. Again, like I said, there's a cost associated with these on-demand hitting the model. So trying to understand this would really help you manage the cost. Again, if I'm doing it right here, so you don't have to repeat the same steps, understanding this is the key takeaway from here. And now you can see the finished chain. That's how it's defined. So it's saying this is a consideration, and this is a question, and this is the ranking based on that. It says the advanced solar photovoltaic cells might be the best option, and then why it is a best option. So some of the information is clearly given here, and this is how you can thought provoke the Bedrock models and get the best response back. So this is it, and we will deep dive into other features of LangChain. This is just a chain of thought. There are other options where you can build agents, you can get uh, rank the response, you can connect to a vector database. So many features which I will deep dive, but I want to start with something very simple, something that people do on a daily basis on your ChatGPT or some of those open LLM models available. So that concludes our demo. One more thing I want to highlight is that when you work with Bedrock models, it's typically deployed within a VPC or can be deployed on a VPC, and ensure that none of the data that you train the model or prompt the data, the, the Bedrock model will be shared with other customers as well as used to train the existing model. So this means your data is secure, unlike some of those open source LLM models. The data is completely secure. Amazon mentions that they value the data privacy. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind. For more information around data privacy, please visit their website and understand how it works. So with that, we have reached the conclusion, and I will be releasing more videos on the Langchain interaction with the Bedrock models. And till then, please like and subscribe my channel. This would be really helpful. It will help with the YouTube algorithm as well as an encouragement for me as well. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Bye.